Welcome back to the Press Box here at DSTV, and it's everyone's favorite time of year. That's right, it's March Madness. While we didn't get an NCAA tournament last year, we're back and better than ever this year. Alongside Brentaro Yamane and Camden Oiler, I'm Luke Henney. Today, we'll each take a look at our favorites to win it all, while also taking a peek at some potential upsets. So without further ado, let's get it started. Brentaro, who are you looking at to cut down the nets in Indianapolis on April 5th?
Well, Luke, my winner of this year's tournament comes from the west side of the bracket, and that's number 2 seeded Iowa. To me, the Hawkeyes can easily get to the Elite Eight if they play some of their best basketball. Iowa finished 7-1 in their last 8 games in Big Ten play during the regular season. In the Big Ten tournament, they defeated Wisconsin in the quarterfinals, but then they lost to Illinois in the semifinals. One of the key players that needs to play dominant for the Hawkeyes going into the tournament is Luca Garza. He has been dominant this whole season. He's had 23.7 points per game. He leads the team in rebounds with 8.7 rebounds per game. He also has the chance to win the John R. Wooden Award this year on the men's side. With forward Jack Nunge out for the Hawkeyes, expect Joe Wieskamp and Jordan Bohannon to have bigger roles on the team. Even though the best team in the country is currently Gonzaga with a 26-0 record, it's not possible that they can win every game on the path to the big dance, right? So with Iowa potentially meeting them, perhaps the Hawkeyes might want to break the Bulldogs' undefeated record. If Iowa makes it to a championship game, they might play Illinois, who is the number 1 seed in the Midwest section. Illinois defeated Iowa twice by 5 and 11 points respectively. It's hard to beat a team 3 times, and if Iowa sees Illinois again, all I'm saying is watch out. Camden, who do you think will come out on top in this year's March Madness tournament?
I'm heading to the South region of the tournament this March and going with the number 1 seeded Baylor, who has achieved their first placement at the top spot in program history. The Bears enter the tournament at 22-2 with losses coming to Kansas in February and their most recent game dropping the Big 12 championship game to Oklahoma State. However, I'm looking at the quality wins Baylor has coming into March with wins over Illinois, Kansas, Texas Tech, and West Virginia. The offense down in Waco, Texas has been electric, scoring 84.4 points per game and shooting 41.8% from 3, which ranks first among D1 programs, and don't expect them to slow down. We get to see the dominant guard play from this team push them all the way to the championship with efficient scoring from Jared Butler, Maceo Teague, and Davion Mitchell. The Bears will look to make easy work of 16-seed America East champion Hartford in the first round, but will then need to tighten things up with a possible matchup with the North Carolina Tar Heels, who have looked majorly improved since the start of the season with their dominant inside bigs of Garrison Brooks, Armando Bacot, and Walker Kessler, who could give the Bears problems with their lack of size. If they can overcome Roy Williams and his squad, I fully expect Baylor to find success against other possible opponents such as Texas Tech and West Virginia, who they have already proven they can get the best of. Luke, who do you believe is going to be celebrating as champions come April 5th?
Well, both of you two mentioned them already. I'm rolling with the Illinois Fighting Illini. They came into the season with national championship aspirations, but after a January 14th loss to Ohio State, the Fighting Illini sat at a modest 9-5 record. Since then, in the 2 months since then, they've won 14 of 15 games, including 3 victories over Rutgers, Iowa, and Ohio State to claim the Big Ten Conference Tournament Championship. The duo of Ayo Dosunmu and Kofi Coburn combined for nearly 40 points per game, and that's just simply too much to overcome. I think they're going to be challenged by Cade Cunningham and Oklahoma State in the Sweet 16, but otherwise it should be relatively smooth sailing for the Fighting Illini. As we all know, March is highlighted by upsets, so we might as well pick some stunners as well. For myself, I take a look at the team like a 13-seeded Ohio Bobcats out of the Mid-American Conference to take down the 4-seeded Virginia Cavaliers. Ohio, making its first NCAA tournament appearance since a trip to the Sweet 16 in 2012, is riding on the back of sophomore Jason Preston, who averages 16.6 points per game. Ironically enough, it was Preston who dropped 31 points in a near upset of the aforementioned Illinois back in early November. As for Virginia, the team's been marred by COVID issues as of late and will not even travel to the Indianapolis bubble until Friday, just 1 day before their game. Ohio, in my opinion, seems like a safe pick to capture some March magic once again. What say you, Brentaro?
The University of California of Santa Barbara defeated the University of California Irvine in the Big West Championship on March 13th. They have a 22-4 overall record, and this is the 4th time in program history that they have gone dancing. So the last time they were in the tournament was 2011. The Gauchos are seeded number 12 in the West side, and they will play number 5 Crane in the round of 64. The Blue Jays got smacked by Georgetown in the Big East championship game by a score of 73-48. Even though the Blue Jays have an overall record of 20-8, they just seem inconsistent. So I have to pick the Gauchos winning their matchup against Creighton. That's my upset pick. Camden, what's yours?
I'm looking at a team that almost had the pleasure of facing off against our very own Duquesne Dukes back in December, and that is 12-seeded Big South champion Winthrop, who will face 5-seeded Villanova in the first round. The Eagles made easy work of the Big South, finishing 17-1 in conference play and 23-1 overall, with a lone 2-point loss to UNC Asheville back in January. They are making their second appearance to the Big Dance, joining their 2017 debut, where they defeated Notre Dame as an 11th seed. They don't have any real quality wins coming into March, but they are firing on all cylinders with lots of guys who give them a lot of depth, who can score the ball along with causing trouble defensively. One being their leader, 6'7" point guard Chandler Vaudrin, who leads the team in points per game as well as rebounds, assists, and steals. The Eagles will look to take advantage of Nova being without starting point guard Colin Gillespie and a team who has dropped 3 of their last 4 games. The last March Madness tournament we saw, 3 out of the 4 12 seeds overcame the 5 seed, and I expect to see this again with Winthrop coming game time. Whether these upsets end up taking place or not, I expect to see more than usual due to all the factors that went into a season like this.
And that's all the time we have here today. Thanks for taking the time to join us. Kick back, enjoy filling out your bracket, and relax. March is finally upon us. See you next time.